All right, let me see. Mm, no. Let me see. Let's see. Over here.
Man.
Go ahead on and come in and share. Broadcast when you come in while I look up this right quick. Oh, let me see. That's one thing, y'all. Y'all know I haven't been on here in a minute. All right, there we go. Hey, Lavarian. Hey, Apostle. I'm feeling much better, girl. Much better. Let's see. Let me get this together. All right, y'all, we're going to be talking some logic today. And y'all know I'm always going to bring you a religious aspect because that's who I am. You know how they say you can't, what's in you gonna come out of you, put it that way. And I'm always gonna bring you a religious aspect. But I was on my way to work. I mean, not way to work, but taking my husband to work this morning, and I had received some inboxes throughout the night. And I went to bed early, y'all. So let me see if I can cut this down. So let me see. So I want to make sure y'all are hearing me and that this music is not over talking me. Let's put a pause on that. There we go. I don't want to think I'm over talking that music over talking me, right? So I was on my way to work. No, I keep saying on my way to work. I must be getting ready to get a job or something. But I was on my way taking my husband to work this morning. And as we was riding along, I was listening to, looking through Facebook and seen some inboxes that had disturbed my spirit. And also I was checking out Chef Carmen because I like her videos, her cooking videos. And I was looking at a video, something I can cook different. Um, Christmas, because we always have Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas. It's always the same meals, running kind of together or whatever. Make sure I got my comments on. And so as I was looking at her live, the Spirit of the Lord began to deal with me. Um, Even while I was living, um, listening to her live and getting some recipes down. And this is going to the inboxes that I receive um, throughout the night. Hadn't even thought about it this way, but the Spirit of the Lord broke it down. Hey, sis, yeah. So the Spirit of the Lord had broke it down to me. He began to minister. The Holy Spirit began to minister to me concerning when Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, and God had gave them a commandment, and the commandment that He gave them was to not eat of the forbidden fruit. Right? He had gave them everything else. He said, "You can do anything else in this garden, but don't touch this one particular fruit, um, a tree, right? Which was called the tree of life, right?" And so I was like, God, what are you ministering? What are you saying here? So he began to break it down to me, and so this is going towards, like I said, the inboxes that I received, dealing with this saga that's going on, and sometimes people are off limits to us, right? Sometimes people are forbidden for us to even conversate with, to even be in our circle, to even having a relationship with them, or even having communication with them. Some people are just forbidden. And so, how you going to know who they are? You have to examine you as a whole, as a person. You have to examine yourself. And if these people are not on the same path that you're on, if these people are not running the same circle that you're on, that means they are forbidden. You understand? That means those type of people you don't collab with. These type of people you don't communicate with. These type of people you don't get involved with. Okay? Because if they're, I mean, okay, let me say for instance, if I am a Christian, and I am, there is no need for me dealing with a drug dealer. Okay? There's no need for me dealing with someone that goes to clubs and party. And there's no need, because we're not on the same way. We're not on the same collab. You understand? We're not living the same lifestyle. So bringing those people into your lifestyle that you're living right now can sometimes cause you uh to fall. Sometimes may cause you to either if you collab with them long enough, you'll start doing some of the things, similar things that they do. Okay? So the reason why, the point I'm trying to get, and the point I'm making here is that um, when I got these inboxes, and y'all know I have been covering this saga, or more or less kind to um, kind of get away from the saga. Put it that way. Sometimes, if you're not a drama filled person, and if you're dealing with somebody that's full of drama, it will cause that drama to fall up on you. Y'all get the concept that I'm trying to make. Anyway, God had put in my spirit about this Adam and Eve, right? He put that in my spirit. And what he was telling me was Brianna was a forbidden fruit, but because of the lust of the flesh, because of the flesh, and because of the lust that Mr. Robert was battling, it opened up, right? It opened up for her to easily to go in his inbox And y'all know that the enemy is cunning, he's sneaky, he's conniving, he's all of these things, right? Um, you know, he could show up in your life and act like your best friend. And all the while, he's a snake or she's a snake. Okay? So here you got Mr. Hampton had 8 million. His 8 million page was blooming. He was blossom. He was blossoming on Facebook. I got people calling me. I'm gonna have to set my. I had. He was blossoming on Facebook. Uh, he was doing all great things. TikTok count was going on. He had some negative comments, but not as bad as it's going. Okay. So what I mean by the forbidden fruit, sometimes when you are involving yourself with a person that's not your kind, that's not on your wave, that's not on your level, it can cause you to end up falling into prey. And so that's what we're looking at now. Now his life is kind of spinning out of control. He feel like he can't handle things that's going on in his life. Let me tell you something. The best way and the best thing that this man can do right now, get off Facebook. Get off Facebook. You know, he's if you're not getting paid for that site, why be on that site? You feel me? If you're not getting paid for uh, his Facebook, why be there? If that's gonna bring all the drama, get off of that. Get offline, regroup yourself, get yourself involved into your local church, reconnect your life back and get in line with God so he can bless you. It's not too late. It's never too late for anyone. Okay? It's never too late for anyone. I tell people all the time when you're if your life has been in a public humiliation, and he's been publicized all over everywhere, right? The best thing that you can once a comeback is getting your life together. Getting your life together, right? Recognize that yeah, I fell short. Yeah, I got myself involved with someone that was not on my wave, that was not on my collab, that was not going the same places, that was not there. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you try to help somebody else out, right, it can cause a trickle effect happening into your life. So we know that this child, Brianna, her whole life has been trouble. Okay? She came into this man inbox with three-headed children, right? She slid her way in. After she got there, guess what? She said, now I got you. A lot of times we think people really love us. We think people are really for us. And I'm telling you, there are sheep in wolf clothing, right? So now he saw that at one point. He saw that at one point in his life when he said, okay, I'm going to back away from this. Even in year one, he said, I'm going to back away from this. I'm getting out of this relationship. And that's that. If he would have done it then, that would have saved him a whole lot of heartache that he's going to right now. But my main message I want y'all to I want to emphasize with is whenever something is forbidden, whenever you get that unction in your spirit, right? Now I better leave that person alone. Now I better not, you better just obey that. Okay? That be God trying to nudge at your heart, telling you, no, nah, don't do this. Don't go that way. Don't mess with that person. Leave that person right there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we can override it because we look at looks, we look at fame, we look at what looks good to them, and that's flesh. And so we now he's going through a rough patch. Can he rebuild? He can. But rebuilding right now is going through the rough patch. You have to go through. See, things come to pass. Things come up in your life to pass, right? It don't nothing stay the same. So it's gonna pass. But what lingers on is when you start digging in it. Leave it alone. Let it play out. Let me tell you something, because it will get old. Anything get old. Clothes can get old, right? If clothes can get old, if people can get old, conversations can get old, okay? That after a while people stop talking about it. But when you start lingering in it and you start putting your 2 cents in and you start fighting it, guess what? It's been here for 2.5 years. Things have been going on in this man's life now for 2.5 years. Why is it lingering? Because people are steady fighting. They got one side Brianna, one side Robert, one side, and they back and forth for 2 years, nonstop. And tell me, what is it accomplishing? Nothing. These people done been through a divorce. The divorce done been final. Uh, they got a kid together. Now they learning how to co-parent. They can't co-parent good because you still got these people steady fighting and think they have to fight these people battle. Choose your battles wisely. There's been people have jobs have been taken from them. You got a nurse that lost her whole job just because she called him Tupac. And when she called him Tupac, these people that think they have to go to back for hit this ex-wife called the people job, that woman's job, and got her fired. You had a sister, CPS been called on the sister. What is this accomplishing? It's not accomplishing that. It's showing that we as a people still don't get it together. We as a people still don't have it together. We rather to fight amongst one another than to get along. Let me tell you something. One thing I learned about Mexican people, if they are, uh, if one of them go get a house, you'll see about 10 of them in that house. Why? Because they have learned how to get along. They have learned that. And they learned that the more people that they have in their household, the better chance they got. They driving nice cars, and we sitting here talking about and complaining about them. Oh, we need to let those Mexicans go back to this place or that place. Listen, leave them people alone. They doing if anything, you need to examine yourself as a culture. You need to examine yourself and see how they're doing it. Same thing with the white race. They may have fights and this and that and third, and you have some white people that ain't as fortunate as some. It's like the Bible said, the poor gonna be with us daily, right? We're gonna have the poor with us always. Okay. Some people gonna have a middle class, some people lower class, some people rich. This is just the cycle that can't be broken. It's been set in stone. Okay. But one thing I'll tell you about white people, they learn how to try to get along. We as a black people, we've always torn one another down. We just can't help it. It's just in our blood. We can't see another black person being in a successful business or doing something. One thing about black people, we know how to fight one another. I'm talking about fist fighting. I'm talking about going back and forth. And let me tell you what happens. When you go up into these people courtrooms, they sit there and they shake their head. Why? Because the black culture is still blaming white culture. This y'all, it's y'all fault that we not here, that we can't do this, and we're less fortunate. When it's not, it's our fault because we don't know how to get along. We don't know how to apply ourselves, right? We don't know how to do that. We know how to throw a cookout. We know how to get drunk. We know how to act a fool. We know how to get locked up. We know how to go to prison. We know those things. And we have not yet figured out how to get along. We ain't figured this out yet. So if Mr. Robert or if anyone, you know, that is of his circle, here's his video. First of all, let it go. Stop fighting. Sometimes God wants to bring out the best with us, and sometimes he will humiliate us, or he will allow us to be humiliated, right? He will allow us to be uh, uh he will allow us to be rich, then he'll bring us back down. He'll allow those things, and it is a learning session behind it. We need to figure out that when we were way up top, what it took to get there, right? And then what kind of attitude we had after we got there. You know what I'm saying? Was we still being humble? Or what was walking around bragging? Or what we walking around show boasting? You know what I'm saying? Because these are the characteristics that we have seen. Okay? These are the characteristics that we have seen in Mr. Robert. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you've had a lot of supporters. And I love Mr. Robert Hampton. I do. I love his content. I love them when they were together. Okay. But truth is truth, and we need to call out the truth as well as um loving up on him and praying for him that he will come to Jesus moment, because this is what it is. It's that moment that he needs to recognize who has all power, who can bring him back from what he has lost. A lot of times we put too much confidence in man, and man will walk away when they see all the cookies being crumbled, right? A man will walk away and leave us, okay? So we see a lot of people saying, shaking their head to him, saying, nah, you just a clown. But it's in those times that God has said, I don't want you to turn to man. I don't want you to turn to your supporters. I don't want you to turn to your family. I don't want you to turn to the world. I want you to turn to me. I'm trying to get your attention. I'm trying to get your attention. And a lot of times we don't want that. We struggle, we fight, we try to hold on, right? To something that God said, I'm trying to get your attention. I got something better for you. But you can't see that because of the glitter that you have, right? The fame that you had, the fortune that you had. You can't see past that. That goes back to the rich man, right? When Jesus began to talk to the rich man and told him to sell everything that he had and come and follow him. The rich man said, no, I can't do that. I got much possessions. He didn't want to let go of what he had. Sometimes we have to let go of what we have in order for God to say, let me show you something better. I want to open up another avenue. I want to see once God opened up a door, no man can shut the door that God has opened up for you. If Facebook was a door that God opened up for him, can't no man shut it. You understand? But a lot of times we too self-righteous. We too self-righteous that we don't want to see past that. We want to still hold on. I remember when I had 50,000 coming in. I remember when I had all this income coming in, and I was really comfortable. God won't sometimes put you in an uncomfortable position so that you can become humiliated and also walk in the spirit of hey guys, you know, I lost it all, and now I'm just at a point in my life that I forget this, forget all the fame. I'm just gonna turn my life over and do as he want me to do. A lot of times God wants that yes out of you. A lot of times God wants you broken, right? He's not gonna lose his life. He's not gonna lose his mind. Only thing God trying to do is get this man attention to say, hey, it's enough. It's over. It's time now. You say that he have a slogan that he go by, God got me. It's time that he know that God really got him. He don't need to run to no supporter group. He don't need to go to on nobody's panel. He don't need to even go on his panel. When God is fighting for you, guess what? The results of that fight, you gonna win. I'm telling you, you're going to win every time. I've got so many inboxes all through the night. And y'all know I only come on here every now and then to talk about this, because one thing I've learned is that this saga is very demonic. It's very demonic. It's got a lot of twists and turns. All of it is evil. I'm being honest with you. Every player and every content creator on the wife side, you could check it. It's very demonic. And even some on his side, it's very demonic. So we have got to learn as a people. We have to learn as a people is to get along. Sometimes we don't. Our sisters and brothers may do some foul stuff, right? But it's not for us to throw a dagger. It's not for us to prejudge a situation, because you're not God. You're not his maker. You're not her maker. So it ain't for you to judge a situation and say he's doomed. Because let me tell you something. I know a man by the name of Lazarus in the Bible. The man was dead in dead man clothes inside of a cave, right? They thought that this man's life was over and he was doomed. His sisters, Mary and Martha, kept telling Jesus that he was sick, right? They kept telling him, he's sick. Come, heal my brother. Come, we need you. He is at the point of death, right? Jesus didn't show up then. He didn't show up when they was in a despair moment. He didn't show up when all the people was gathering together at Lazarus' house and they was saying they last goodbyes. He didn't show up then, saints. He showed up after. So you can't tell me that this man's life is doomed. That is over with. As long as he got breath in his body, and as long as we as a people got breath in our body, we can get back up again. We can get back up again. Jesus came after the fact. After he was already in the grave 3 days. Y'all, 3 days. So when you imagine him coming after they done buried this man, his sisters at this point was like, why are you showing up now? You know, he's out, he's gone. He's already dead. When we needed you 3 days ago, when we were in distress, when he was going through, when he was taking his last breath, we needed you then. Why are you coming now, right? Jesus came 3 days later after the fact. And let me show you what happened within those 3 days when he showed up. See, God will show up, y'all. And I'm trying not to preach because I'm a preacher. Y'all know who I am. God will show up when you least expect it. When you lost all hope. When you lost all despair. When everybody's coming up against you. When you're being demoted. When you're being lied on. When you're being talked about, he'll show up. He'll show up. Right? So here we got Martha and them sitting there saying, like, why are you here now? You know, he's gone. We buried him over there. And he began to tell them, the Almighty, the all-powerful, right? Began to tell them where y'all got him laying at. They showed him. We got him over. He's over there. We don't took his life. I mean, his life was over with. You know, we done had a funeral. So let me tell you something. For everyone that's attacking this man, right? For everyone that's attacking Robert Hampton at this point in time, Y'all think it's the end? Y'all think it's over with? Y'all think y'all buried this man? No, baby. No, baby. There's a man. See, there's a man higher than the man, that reputation that y'all have tarnished, that y'all have demised, that y'all are going on panels to talk about countless of hours, countless of days, countless of weeks, up to 2 years now, right? There's a man higher than that man, right? Ooh, ooh, Jesus. There's a man higher than that man that supersedes him. The one who gave him life, the one who blew in his nostrils and he became a living soul. That man, right? That's the man y'all gonna have to answer to. Because let me tell you something. Every seed that you have sown, you shall also reap. That's word. That's word. So every negative comment that been in this man post, every negative word that was spoken over this man's life, every negative word that people have got on YouTube panels and talked about, you got to watch it, because them same words, you laughing now, but you won't laugh after God get through. See, there's a man higher than Robert Hampton. There's a man higher, right? That you're going to have to answer to. And I can't see it. Some of these people, I know they had to be bullies in school. You could tell their behavior, the behavior pattern that they got. They're pure evil, right? So I said, God, what do you want me to share? Because he been indulging me. He been indulging me to get on YouTube, and I've been slack. Because I've been going through some little sinuses issues and stuff. And I said, God, I want to get on here and talk about the same old stuff. Like sometimes we got to let things die, right? In order for something else better to grow. I don't want to get on here and talk about the same stuff, because God, they ain't going to hear me, because number one, I'm not drama. I don't come from a drama field. My platform is not drama field. It's always going to be a spiritual insight that I'm going to bring to the people that hears, this channel, right? So I'm saying, God, what do you want me to share? Being who I am, right? Being who I am, a living testimony, a person that who been through public humiliation. God, what can I share? What kind of light can I bring to this saga for people minds in the ears to be enlightened, God? Because I don't want to just come on here and talk about the wife and talk about this. I need something that's going to bring something different, to this situation, right? To this saga. So he began to tell me this morning. A lot of times when something's forbidden, it looks good to our eyes. It looks delicious. Some of us, when we pick our mates, right, we look at him for him to be tall, dark, and handsome, a bad body. We look for those qualities, right? But are those the qualities that we really need? Is that the right person that we really need? Because we have been through several relationships and still that ain't the right one. That lets me know one thing, that our eyes, the lust of the eyes, right? The lust of the eyes will get us in trouble. Will get us in trouble because you don't know who you are getting yourself involved with. You don't know what you bringing in your house to turn your house upside down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we see that a wife is going through. She done brought another man. Well, she never healed from her marriage. She brought another man in, and now this man is turning her house upside down. You know, so we got to watch and be careful as people, right? And what we want, what our eyes want, we got to ask God, is that what we really need? Because let me tell you, I can talk about it because I've been through several relationships, right? And everyone I thought that was for me wasn't for me. You get it? The lust of the eyes, what we like, what we attract with our eyes, may not be what He has for us. So when God gave me my husband now of 22 years, right? He wasn't he wasn't tall, he wasn't dark, he wasn't stocky like I like him. He was none of that. So the lust of the flesh will have you out here on a roller coaster and get you in so much trouble. And after you have bitten the forbidden fruit, right? Then after you bite it, it turn around and can damage your whole life. And that's what happened. That's what happened in this situation. He bit the forbidden fruit. So did she. I can't leave because I'm pretty sure some things in his life she didn't like. Like she always made a point that he was controlling. I can see that. I really can't see that. But he was trying to better her because he saw what was in her and he was trying to turn around, but that was not his responsibility. If he was not her father to raise her and to try to steer her the right way, even though he seen some qualities that she did have that was good, but there was qualities that he saw that she needed to work on. So he was trying to fine tune her. And that made her think he was controlling her. I could see her saying that because she was not used to that lifestyle. Sometimes when you get involved with the wrong people, you try to tweak them. You try to tweak them and turn them to, listen, this is where you should be. This is what, but it's not really in them. So what is it causing? It's causing you damage. And now we see that he's going through a rough patch. I won't say it's the end because it's never the end. It's never the end. He's just going through a rough patch. I'm gonna say it like our elder people say. He's having some growing pains. He's got some hiccups, some growing pains. But can he get through it? Yeah. But what's gonna help him the most is staying off these panels. Don't get on there another panel. Don't talk to no another content creator, good or bad or indifferent. Keep his feelings to himself. Get some therapy. Go somewhere and sit down. There's nothing wrong with him going to get in therapy. Because when I lost my two boys, I got therapy. I went through therapy myself, you know. So he went through a loss. He lost his brand or losing his brand. He lost his marriage. He lost his relationship with some children that he once helped raise. So he's going through a rough patch. He's going through a rough patch. So what's going to help him? What's going to help him to rebuild? Stay off all those channels. Start journaling, or put in a song what you're going through. But go somewhere and seek some therapy because he needs to heal. Just like I would tell her, she needs to heal. She definitely needs to heal now because now she's got, uh, she's pregnant again, and the baby dad is nowhere to be found, or he's in and out. So she now got 3 baby daddies, a single female raising children on her own. That can be very stressful. I don't care how she make it look on Facebook. It's very stressful. Trust me, I raised 3 myself without a father. So it's very stressful. And she got some income through Facebook, thank God, because they didn't have Facebook back in my time. I just had to work 2 jobs and make it do what it do, right? So she got some income coming along, but still income ain't everything. She need a break sometime. So it can be very overwhelming. So yeah, she's going through a rough patch. We all go through things, but it's not when we go through things, in life, we can't look down on people and laugh at them and taunt them and pick on them and torture them and do all these things and think that God is not looking at what you're doing. Think that God is not sitting high and hearing his cry, because you don't know what this brother may be doing. This brother may be on his knees and crying out to God. But and listen, God said, touch not my anointing and do my prophets no harm. So these people that's going around here doing all this harm, right? They got to reap it. They're going to reap it one day. And we're at a season and a time in our life, in a shift in our life, that usually it take a year, 2 years for you to reap what you sow. No, sometimes you can do something to somebody and the next day you're reaping that thing. So reaping may become not just, God may not even, doing the harm or allowing the harm be done to you. It may come through your children. It may go through something that you really love. We don't never know, because, my mind go back to David. Whenever David had sinned, right? Whenever David had sinned, the Lord said, the sword will not leave your house, David. Every child that David had, somebody killed it. So we got to realize that when we're laughing and saying aha at somebody else's pain, at somebody else's struggles, at somebody else's trials, when we're judging, we're laughing, we're picking, and don't think that sword ain't coming back to your house. It is. And you're going to reap that thing. And it ain't going to be funny then. And sometimes when we're reaping, it be 10 times worse than what the person you saw going through. I'm telling you. So we got to be very careful, because we could be up today and down tomorrow. My heart goes out to him, because he really don't know how to channel what he's going through, because number one, he don't know Jesus. He hadn't met him. And I wish there was a time I can really go face to face and talk to him and let him know about him, because I got experience. I got experience on the man named Jesus. I can tell him all about it. I can tell him how I almost lost my mind when both my children, one was murdered and COVID took the other one. I can tell him how I turned to Jesus and he began to heal me. He began to heal my mind and restore me. So stop and think about other people, right? Stop and think about not just other people. Stop and think about yourself and what you can be facing. That man done went through cancer. She done made plans. Let me tell y'all something. This woman had made plans after this man received that diagnosis. She just knew he was getting ready to go. So she wanted him to fully go ahead and adopt his children so she can have whatever excess this man had left. Ain't no telling, he might have had a big insurance policy. But she wanted this man to adopt her children. Because number one, if the children's father was there, if the children's father was a father, right, that he's trying to pretend that he is now. Anybody can pretend from a long distance. But it takes a man to be in there and every day showing and sculpturing and molding a child. And Mr. Robert has done that for Breonna children. Why do you think she said she wanted him to adopt those children? Okay? Because she knew what type of man he was. Okay? So she already had it planned out. She just knew he was going to leave here from cancer. So she needed some security for her and her children if he would adopt those kids. Now, she didn't even look for the father. Them kids ain't had no relationship with their father until after this man walked away from her. That's when you started seeing her taking the kids to meet up with their father. And you only seen that a couple of times. You only seen that a couple of times. So if y'all, I'm gonna say this, if you're human, have some, how can I say, not pity, have some respect when you see somebody going through, because you don't know. Your day might be tomorrow. You might lose everything. I lost, all in 1 year, I lost a house. I lost a car and my children all in one day. DSS had my children all in 1 year. I'm sorry. All in 1 year. I was talked about, even through my family, talked about me. So I experienced humiliation. It's not a good feeling, right? But I learned through going through that humiliation. At least that was my first humiliation. Then the second one was when I got ordained as an apostle. And I'll tell y'all about that one day. But I learned one thing going through humiliation. It will humble you. It will humble you, right? It will humble you to the fact I was going out there. I'm telling you, I was going out there to homeless people and handing out blankets, and it will humble you. All right. But through that experience, I had to go through it. I didn't have a lifeline, right? I didn't have nobody to pull me up by my boots, shreds, and say, I got you. I had to go through it. And I'm glad that I went through that because I learned. I learned. So he going to have to learn to go through it. He's a man. He's a man. He can't keep turning to the internet and having sympathy. Want everybody to have sympathy for him. God knows I do. I follow the story, have been following. Always been a RH supporter for a long time. But, some things don't need to be done. Choose your battles. Choose your battles. And learn how to walk away and say, this ain't my battle. This ain't my fight. I'm going to leave this up to God to fight. It's out of my hands. It's out of my control. So I know what I can do. I can let God fight my battles. Instead of me trying to fight him. Because you can't fight him. And nobody else can fight him for him. And it's been going on for 2 years. People going back and forth from panel to panel trying to get this stop and that. Now the content creators are battling against one another. It's just a bunch of demonic wreckage. That's what it is. That's what's going on. And the devil loved that. This is all the devil playground right there. He loved division. He loved drama. He loved it. He's full of hate. He's a deceiver of lies. So y'all, that's my time. I'm getting out of here, but I just had to share with y'all what the Lord had put in my spirit. And y'all know I'm gonna always bring you a spiritual side of it. To the next time, let's talk about it. We out of here.